up, guys? As most of you guys know, my name is Harao, Coach Plus here at South Bay. I appreciate you guys all coming. So today, it's going to be all about calisthenics. And what I want you guys to take away at the end of this hour is how do you program for calisthenics for your clients that are interested or that want it or need it, and then what are the benefits of calisthenics. So to start off, we're going to use this tennis ball, and I'm going to pick a random person to pick up the tennis ball and show me your favorite calisthenic exercise. So anything bodyweight, calisthenics, Kai, you're first. Go for it.
I love lateral rounding because a lot of the demographic doesn't have a good stability.
Yeah.
So simple bound, back and forth. It's easy to start off with, you always progress it.
Okay, cool. And we'll get to that. So I'm going to save that for later. You can totally progress it. Ellie, go for it.
I really like those jump squats.
Ooh,
That's what I'm running with me, right?
I love that.
As a superside, power.
Some power. I love it. Cool. Oh, good catch.
I like doing a basic reverse lunge. I like this variation better than a forward lunge because there's a little less impact on the knees when you go forward versus backwards. It's good to do lateral movements and all skin symmetry, the alternate symmetry between left and right side, glute squats.
Love it. Love it. This ball has no bounce in it. Somewhere that possible. Mike.
You want to push me out to the flag there?
Hold up! I won't make you do that. Morley.
My favorite is a burpee, but without a push-up.
Oh,
So you just pop down and pop up. And I like it because it's a heart rate movement, especially for a
just watching you do that made me tired.
But it's also like real life, like people are on the ground and they have to get back up. So.
Yep. I love that. Let it bounce.
Definitely body, so it has to do with push-ups. So of course,
Love it.
beginner to start from here,
Uh-huh.
more advanced, and then definitely more advanced, and then touch side.
Cool. So we saw some progressions, Kai, Rico. Did all you guys go? Good catch. That's for being late. Just kidding.
I saw it and then it blinded me.
So you don't know what we're doing?
Favorite calisthenics?
Show me. Don't tell me.
I like me some row.
Ooh, some renegade rows. Oh. We love it. Thank you, Laura. Okay, I appreciate you guys. Also, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because I took, I think I mentioned in the email, I took a cert to take.
Yes.
Of course. Please show me.
I like handstands, but I don't do this way. But I did it for like when I first came to trainer, I did one like every single day. Okay, so brace yourself.
Is he really busy? Okay, y'all two, you know, watch out.
Okay, watch out.
Hey.
Come on now. Yeah, I apologize. I apologize for missing out on you. So I saved the best for last, I guess. So what I was kind of saying before Jate showed off is abilities. I took a national cert with Strong First in bodyweight calisthenics. That was super, super helpful to me. And kind of like what Kai was going with it, and Rico was going with it, like how do you show these people, okay, if you can master the push-up, where can we take that from there? It doesn't mean you have to get on the bench or the dumbbells or anything like that, right? You can go one arm, one leg, right? So in order for me to get that cert, I had to do a one arm, one leg push-up, but do it and make it look good, right? So the amount of lats actually that I had to use in that was crazy, right? And you would never think in a push exercise you have to really use your lats, but in order to really get everything out of your body, that's kind of what it was about. And we'll get to that. I wanted to mention a little bit of the history of it just because I read about it and I talked to Kyle about it, our other PC engineer here. If you guys ever notice like the old ancient Greek statues, what stands out on them is usually their shoulders, right? Like their chest is not the biggest thing. So it roots back from ancient Greece. And so we were talking about how like now over time, how it's changed where, I don't know, like for guys in here, like you guys get a lot of like, oh, I want a bigger chest. Like I want a chest like you. Right? No one really ever talks about, I feel like their shoulders as much. So it's interesting seeing like that kind of behind it and like why it kind of is important now, why it came about?
Well, maybe it's just more like from like, because they're working on things that shoulder strength back then versus now. I don't know what it would be.
So we took it to functional, right? Because we felt like the shoulder mobility, stability, and the strength allows for more functional stuff to happen than your chest, right? But we got off on a little discussion about that. Cool. So talking about the benefits, can you guys tell me like if you're programming for someone who either wants to do calisthenics or needs it, you think they need it, what could be some of the benefits? I'll give you guys one and then I'll share some at the end. But for me, it's very accessible, right? So like even if your clients aren't in the gym and they're going on vacation, especially right now, like everyone's going on vacation, right? What can you give them to, hey, just do like 15 pull-ups, do 15 push-ups, or you don't have that available, do some dips, right? It's things we do in here that they can do outside, but maybe more about bodybuilding. So for me, it's the accessibility of doing calisthenics. Can you guys think of anything that would be a benefit to calisthenics that you might see in other like models of working out, but it could also be just specific to calisthenics?
Normally with clients that are going on vacation, I know they don't want to be taking up kind of equipment.
Right.
So the most easiest, something more compact would be like a TRX.
Yep.
Put it in the bag, they can go to the beach, they can go to the park, and they can do a type of full body workout using these kinds of TRXs.
Absolutely. So TRX, what else?
Also, I think it has like extra definition confidence for a lot of people who maybe, let's say they can't bench a million pounds in a squat, you can get really good on pull-ups and dips. That's like an extra target to shoot for.
Facts. Go ahead.
Muscle endurance, you're doing probably more reps, obviously like weight with like weight.
So you're kind of driving the volume up
Yeah.
more than maybe like the weight itself.
Yeah.
Cool. The other stuff I had written down as far as the benefits of it were full body, right? Like I've done it with you before we go. When you get on the rings and you start doing dips, right? I've obviously done it with you before. Say like the push-ups on the rings and all of that. Like yeah, you might be doing a dip, but the thing that you still feel are your quads, right? Because you're at the top and you're flexing your quads in order to stay up there, right? The difference between the TRX and rings would be the TRXs are coming down from one level, right? So there's no shakiness or out of control. You can control it much easier. With the rings, there's two levers coming down. So there's one here, and you have to kind of combine that together. That's where you see a lot of people shaking and whatnot, right? So when I do my dips on there, yes, of course, it's a push, so I'm feeling it in my chest, my thighs, my shoulders, but at the very top, in order to stop that shakiness, what do I need? Right? And my legs, right? So your core starts getting really stronger and stronger. A lot of you guys probably know. So I look at it as a full body thing, and I look at it written down, TRX progression to the rings. Have any of you other guys worked with rings before? You have, right? Talk to me a little bit about what you think, like jumping from TRX to rings as you chow down that food.
TRX is more, for example, it's softer in the hands because it's grip, so because it's the end of the cell, it's softer. TRX you can stay those in, you can put those indoors, it's more stable for at home. Rings is more complex because of the ring setup, you have to have a bar or something very strong to do. Rings requires a lot, I think a little bit more stability because you're gonna use a lot more grip strength to hold on to the rings than you are going to the TRX. So I think the difference between the two, I think rings are just more raw, right? You know, same benefits, same movements, but TRX, rings is a little more raw, and TRX is a little more softer and more adjustable, and more like universal when it comes to like transforming into
Absolutely. And like the one thing you reminded me of is the one thing the lady that was leading the Strong First workshop, this one thing that you just hear and you just take away and you just remember it. She kept reiterating the three things that are the most important things to engage as far as like getting stronger. One thing he mentioned, your grip. The other is your core, and the last one is your glutes, right? So even if you're doing a push-up or a plank, right? What do we always tell? I hear it all the time. What do we usually tell our clients? Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your core, right? Because that's what's holding us together. And the last part of it is grip strength. Like if you get up on a pull-up bar and you just like get your crevices in there and really try to grip it, or if you're doing a farmer's carry and you really grip that dumbbell, that takes away so much tension, and you can really own that exercise, right, through kind of those three things. The other things I had down for the benefits of it were cost effective, which you guys kind of, you guys kind of into that, right? You don't have to go out and get crazy stuff, and it's like you need one TRX maybe, right? Or you need gym rigs one time, or you need maybe the what are those called, the push-up totally, the parallettes, right? For the push-ups, or for me it was a weight vest, right? When I was trying to do body fat competition, right? So things like that, it's a one-time investment, and they'll have that. So like next time they go on vacation, because they will, you tell them, hey, remember that weight vest? Let's keep working with that. And then the last thing I have was, and something again talking about, is enhancing functional fitness, right? So most of our clients, I feel like, are people that just have a goal of kind of like more than what you were saying, just can I pick something up and down without feeling any pain, right? So if we're allowing them to do movements like a push or a pull in its simplest form, and making it harder as we go, they're going to be masters of those movements. And now if you do build a program for them after the body weight stuff, for weights, for strength, whatever, they have a great base, a great foundation, because they've done all the movement patterns before. Right now it's just about doing it with a different kind of machine or whatever, right? Cool. So those would be the benefits. Now, I want to bring you guys up a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Cool. We'll have like a group of 3, I guess. And what I want you guys to do, this is all about kind of programming, is come up with, and I'll assign you guys, but come up with a workout, a full workout that would be either push, pull, core, or legs. That's all circled around calisthenics, right? And you do it for someone who is new, and then we'll come back together and we'll go about how do we progress this person, or how do we regress them if there's pain or something like that. Does that sound cool? Okay, so let's just go by the line. Unless you guys.
All 4 of those things, or
No. Let's just do one, and then we'll come as a group, and then we'll just go talk about it. So why don't you 3 work together? You 2 can work together. You 2 can work together, and you 2 can work together. I'm gonna give you guys 5 minutes, and I want you guys, if you have something like to write with, which you don't, it's fine. Put it on your phone. I think Ruth is the only person. It does not surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me at all. But just have it down. Like, I want you guys to think of, just like we do for every client, right? There should be a movement prep. There should be a dynamic warm-up. There should be some sort of resistance or strength or power. And then there should be some sort of energy system development, right? With a cool down at the end, right? So think of the different things we have in the gym. Think of all the things you can use. And again, your body is a big one. No. Ooh, wait, we didn't talk about that. I got that down. What do you think is the definition of that?
Well, at first I was gonna say, basically, anything you can use body weight. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and I'm glad you just asked me that. It's a form of exercise using body weight as resistance. That's all it is. Body weight as resistance, right? So that's a great question, because she's thinking, well, why would I use equipment then if it's just, but if your body is the real resistance, the TRX is just there helping you out. The weight vest is just there on your body helping you out. It's a great question, but that's the simple kind of definition to it. Any other questions for you guys pick out? Okay, program, go. We got 5 minutes. Yes, so let's do this. Hey, hold on, let's do this. That was a good question. Do you guys feel more comfortable with just doing any category? Because I do want there to be some sort of, like, I don't want everyone to just push.
Well, why don't you like this?
Okay, so push, pull, core, legs. I can't do that. Yes, it is a beginner requirement. Keep that in mind. For you guys, it would be just one workout. And hopefully we can put everything together and it could be. what? This? I got my shirt. Oh, you're cold. I'm cold too.
You got that?
I'll give you guys 2.5 minutes.
Are we doing, are you looking for like nice back legs? Or are you looking for just full body pushing?
I said push.
Like legs?
What are you trying to say? What's the question?
I'm thinking like kind of full legs, like.
No, think just push. Think just push. I understand what you're saying. Think push. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, just let it go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now we can see. You guys, 1 more minute. What's up? No, we're just there programming. Yeah. 30 seconds.
Can we turn off the fan?
Committee, wrap it up. Good. Good. Awesome to tell you guys good. Okay, cool. Okay, so we'll go down the line. You guys had legs. Okay, how are we starting to work out?
So we're doing warm-ups for mobility with knee leg swings, a lot of dynamic stretching.
Okay.
We're gonna be doing a lot of power exercises, so walking toe touches, walking machine stretch, walking like this to prime the muscles. Then we got jump squats. Usually we can do rep range or we use like minutes, 30-second intervals.
Cool.
We decided 10 to 15 rep ranges, 15 if it's compound, 10 if it's single weight.
Okay.
First one, jump squats. Superset with split squats. Very dynamic. If you want to regress it, then we have TRX supported squat jumps.
Love it.
Progress is weighted squat jumps. Same thing with the split squat jumps as well. box jumps, and some lateral bounds. If they're not ready for box jumps, then we can just have them sit in the box and then do a regular squat jump from there. Or just regular step ups. And then lateral bounds, have them focus on the footwork first. If they need to regress it, progress, they can do lateral bounds consecutively. And then lastly, pistol squats, again, regress with TRX supported or with weight in progression, and then hamstring curls on the TRX series.
Awesome. Okay, so what I really liked about that also is she gave some progressions, she gave some progressions. I want to actually go back to your the resistance block. So go back to the first exercise you guys do after the warm up, and let's talk about how we can, and we'll do this down the line, how we can regress it and progress it, and maybe keep progressing it. Thinking just some ideas to get our minds going. So go back to your just pick like one of the main supersets or whatever you had.
Jump squats.
Okay, so jump squats, right? What someone from another group, like how can you regress a jump squat? I think you talked about it, but in your own way, how would you regress a jump squat for someone who can't feel that impact or doesn't know how to do it or whatever the case is?
Do a squat and half raise.
A squat with that phrase. Can you show us that?
Yeah, so you're just gonna squat onto the toes, so a little less with 600 knees.
But they're still kind of feeling that.
Something like, hey, I'm pushing.
How can you progress that maybe for an athlete that you're working with that's just coming out of college and who's got a job as an engineer at Northrop Grumman and he wants to feel like he's playing football again? How do you do that?
Like just keep going, show rest and regress.
Just keep going up the box jumps.
And like right with it, you're going down.
Oh, you're going down again. Like the guy that literally sets the boxes up into the
Yeah.
seat. That's what was on my mind, right? Cool, awesome. Great job, guys. Rico, more of you guys, that's my favorite day.
So, for core, there's like some that involve the whole body, of course. But for the warm up, we're gonna isolate the core and the hips. So, reverse crunches for like your abs, toes abs for obliques, lower back extension, all body weight. And then for the hips, we have leg raises and raises with glutes and then side leg abduction. So that drives everything in the spine and in the hips is great. And then we have 3 supersets with a challenge superset if they want to. The first one's bear crawls and body weight squats. Second one is split lunges and single leg RDLs and just body weight. We're just saying that's a little bit of balance. And then the third one is just strict core to finish it out, both those with scissor kicks and sit-ups. An optional superset if you do it, or like have something to work out that goal, would be like the
Cool. And you guys kind of had the easiest kind of day, would you agree?
I feel like it's hard to make a whole day out of core. Like, but when you involve things like air rolls and like full body
Right.
weight, that still makes it important, it's easier.
Right, and like the point being, for it's not easy, right, to think of a full-blown core workout,
Like only core.
only core, right? But the idea is, if you are warming it up in every single workout you're doing a certain way, when you're about to go do the pull-up, should you be using your core?
Yeah.
Right? Like it shouldn't just be, I'm gonna go to this bar and I'm gonna just, I have the strength enough to pull myself up, right? The way I like, and there's different ways of teaching, right? But I like to go on the ground, do a hollow body hold, and I want that person, you can take one of those PVC pipes and mimic that as their pull-up bar, right? Because now if you're in a hollow body hold position, can someone actually come up here and can we do a hollow body hold? Anyone? Yes, please, thank you. Okay, so if you lay on the ground, and Molly, I know you know how to do it. Hollow body hold. I know what was working for you. So you just give me a hollow body hold, right? Cool. Now, if you had a stick right here, just visualize a stick right here, and now I just want you to press down on it a little bit, right? Now that tension is all going to the center of her core, right? So imagine being in that position when you're about to pull yourself up. What is helping you think so much? What is helping her pull herself up? But it's also making the exercise a little bit more challenging. Her core, right? Because she's engaging in that. So if you do the same thing on a pull-up bar, and guess what? Also, you're not going to feel pain in your low back. Now they might come down and be like, ugh, that's harder. Like, it's harder because you're engaging things you should be, and you don't know how to engage, right? I feel like I'm going to go tangent before, so I should be stopped now. That was great. So the idea is you don't just do core the entire time unless that's what you guys want to do, right? There's other exercises from the other days that you can apply because you need your core for everything,
Yeah.
right? The stronger your core gets, the easier everything else becomes, in my opinion. Cool. I'll stop talking now. You guys, and cool. Yeah. Go for it.
Believe it or not, no pull-ups.
No pull-ups. Well, I said it was a beginner person, so let me hear it.
No, that's actually the first thing we did.
Okay.
Assisted pull-ups, so, just get them on the machine, do some good assists, like heavy assists in the first couple sets.
Cool.
Warm up, decrease the assist, do some row sets on assisted pull-ups. And then we also had the option of doing dead hangs at the end of the pull-up set, that's sort of the drop set, to increase a little bit of grip demand,
Great.
train your grip strength a little bit. And then we move on to a TRX bodyweight row. And similarly to the pull-ups, there's also a drop set, I wouldn't say progression, but sort of just to focus more on the scapular retraction. We end those sets with some Kelso shrugs at the end. So
Okay.
back and elbow movement, just some scapular retraction on the bodyweight rows.
Okay.
And then that can be progressive just to the position, so you stand further in, just a little harder.
Yep.
As the line gets better over the weeks. TRX rear delt flies after that, just to isolate the delts a little bit.
Yep.
And then TRX bodyweight curls, just this concept.
Not the Pelican ones?
No.
I love those.
Made that in a couple months.
Those are nice. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I tried. That's awesome. Let's go through some of the can you go through your warm up again?
I was pretty good around just like line sets on the assistant pull-up.
Okay. So with hearing their warm up, would you guys have any sort of anyone in the audience, like would you guys have any sort of maybe suggestions after like what we just talked about to do rather than maybe just go straight into the actual exercise? Okay, you guys can all go. Go ahead.
Yeah, the core and then mobility and maybe some stuff on TRX to warm up the posterior cuffs a little bit more.
Perfect. Before they get up on the assisted pull machine.
I was just gonna say, add core.
At core in the beginning.
So I really like to isolate the lats before pull-ups or pull-downs. And you lie on your stomach and just not on your thumbs together. And
So you're lying on your stomach
lie
and
on
then
your stomach and you just lift your hands up and then just the thumbs together on your back. And it really turns the lats on. I feel like a lot of people don't use lats for
they
pull-ups.
don't know how to do it.
I like that more. I'm trying that.
There you go. Because what do most people usually engage? Biceps, or for me a lot is my traps, right? Like that's the biggest thing. And for me, I'll do like scapular pull-ups almost. Just kind of like, I think someone mentioned it about not really, I think you were saying you're not actually moving, but just kind of like staying in place, right?
And like feeling that, like engage. So I used to pick the lats. And when you go for it, you use your lats first.
And kind of just stay in that position, right? Cool. Yeah, that's all I would say. Like maybe add a little bit more of a, pay a little bit more attention to that at the beginning of the workout because you're just setting that person up for success as they kind of go. And again, progressions, right? From a pull-up, from assisted pull-up, a great progression would be what? A regular pull-up, right? What else could be a good progression from an assisted pull-up to maybe it's not a pull-up, but they're not ready for it. What else could you do to maybe make it a little bit more that hangs, right? Because now they still have to hang off a bar, and a lot of people, if they've never done that before, that's a weird feeling, right? What else can you do? Yep. What else can you do?
Inverted row where your seats, your body's gonna be worse until.
Okay, so you read my mind, and I'm not gonna lie. Seeing Kyle right there, also it just makes me think of it, right? I see him every day doing it with his clients, right? The TRX that you guys all have in your programs, that take advantage of that just because it's your body against you, right? So if you put that ball underneath their feet, it's just giving them a lot more range of motion to do the rows, right? So that's a great progression for someone who maybe started leaning as much as they could. Okay, how do we make it harder? Let's start lifting up your legs, right? Who else had their hand up for the progression? No? Okay. I would look at maybe banded, right? Just because you want them to, and they'll swing around a little bit, and that's where the core kind of comes in, right? If you're in a hollow body hold position from the pull-up bar, you are not swinging, because this is keeping you together, right? So, and that's hard to imitate or mimic that on a machine, right? Because it's kind of allowing you to do some of the work for you. So I would say assisted, and I love the bar where you're doing the regular rows, right? Cool, awesome job. And last but not least,
Push.
push.
Got push. For our warm up, we did windmills, arm swings, scap push, liquidations, hand walkouts, inchworms, and then Bulls Grade stretch. For the workout piece, we started out with more strength and a bit more plyometric. So we did a static lunge, dumbbell push-ups, inverted push-ups to pike press. So with those first three, we hit our push for our lower body, we hit a push for our chest, but we're also pushing, and then we did more vertical pushing, pike press, and inverted push-ups. Then we did a little more plyometrics. We did hollow rocks, core, jump squats, and then jump lunges. The last one.
Finish it. Awesome. Let's go back through it and give you like a regression and a progression for the main kind of. Let's do the strength.
So static lunge, you can do that assisted against like the wall, or you can TRX do static lunge.
Ooh.
Dumbbell push-ups, you can do those on the knees. Can't do it in a full plank position.
When you say dumbbell pushes, they're just dumbbells.
Yeah,
on the ground.
like using the dumbbells to get further stretch, or using the bars.
Are you picking up the dumbbells?
No.
Oh, I got you. They're just there first.
Just to get.
I got you.
Because when you do a push-up, the floor is your limiting factor of how low you can go. When you do a dumbbell, you get more depth, you get more stretch.
What other equipment can you use to get a bigger stretch?
Bars or TRX.
TRX, yes.
What stuff? Yeah.
The also I always think of the parallettes,
Parallels, that's
right? Because they you can get real deep in there, right? Okay, keep going.
Inverted push-up to pike press or pike press.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you would just change the angle that you're pressing from. The more vertical you are, the harder it's gonna be. So, what are the regressions?
Besides regressions, like you just said, your knees, still with the forward lean, make sure you're going over and you keep the head tucked, get the pressure on the shoulders. But if you want to go reverse it and have a progression, you can elevate your feet and make it a lot more higher.
For the height ones?
Yeah.
Cool. Because what's a great progression from the pipe? Like what could be a goal, I guess? A handstand push-up, right? What could then a handstand push-up directly translate to when they're on the floor? So think about when they're on the floor and doing if they're coming off doing a handstand push-up, they were successful, they got their goal, right? What do you know they can probably most likely do with weights or a kettlebell or whatever? Correct. They can do their own body weight and shoulder press, right? Because they just showed you they can do that, right? So that translates over into maybe a different program. Go ahead. I think that's it. So again, all of these things, always think of challenging your clients because that's what they want, right? They want to go through this. Okay, I know how to do the kneeling push-ups. I know how to do the push-up, and think about how long it can take for them to get there, right? Because there doesn't end there. Right, you can now start doing, hey, let's train for 1-arm push-ups, right? And that's a whole progression in of itself, right? Where, okay, now we really hone in on externally rotating that elbow back. I need your lats to start going, right? I have a girl right now we're on our way to doing like 1-arm push-ups, and I have her doing a lot of archer push-ups and 1-arm push-ups, right? And it takes some time because she uses a lot of her shoulders and traps. So what we do is we just go open jar, close jar, right? Because open jar is going to allow you, if you guys just do it right now, like you're in good form, and you just open jar, right? Tell me the muscle that activates once you open it. Correct. So if you're on the ground and you, without moving your hands, and again, going back to that grip thing, you want to have that ground completely in your hand in complete control, and you just grip it like that, right? I have to use my lats in order to do the push-up. Like right now, my lats are on fire. But if I'm here,
Open that jar.
right? I'm like that. Do I have the strength to do it? Do a lot of people have the strength? Yes. But is it the right way? Does it look good? No. Right? So you want to be able to rotate that elbow back, get your lats going, and you want to make it look pretty, right? Question.
T.
Oh God.
You did the body weight workshop, right?
Yes.
So are you saying pull-ups, there's only one way, like you always have to keep your core engaged on a pull-up? You know
Great
what I
question.
mean? Or, because sometimes, you know, where it's like, people can activate their lats better if they arch their back. What are your thoughts on that?
I love that question, and we did bring that up in the workshop, right? Because there were people of all different shapes and sizes in there, right? The way they were teaching is always to be in a stacked position, right? So our thing was never going out here, right? Be in a stacked position, meaning your rib cage is down, your pelvis tilt is up, activating your core, activating your glutes, and going from there. When we started talking about, wait, what about like bodybuilders that do pull-ups that are out here, right? Again, that's a completely different category, I would say, right? If your idea is to get wider and build your lats that way, whatever, it's not wrong, right? To me, the way I look at these things is not right or wrong, but if you are going after one thing and you're locked into that, then keep doing it on a weekly basis, and that's how you're gonna get better at that move itself, right? And then maybe if they're going on a different program and they want to do more of a bodybuilding style thing or whatever, they want to do wide pull-ups, then yeah, you go from there and you teach it. The ones we did were called tactical pull-ups, right? So they're more so for like if you're a soldier in the army and you're trying to get over the wall, right? I think Rico and I talked about this. You can't use your thumbs, right? Your thumbs have to be right here. So you can't get over the wall, right, with having this grip. You have to be thumbless, right? So it does matter, like to Kyle's point, it does matter what that person wants at the end of the day also, right? You can combine it with what you think they need, but at the end of the day, we want to give them what they're looking for and combine it with what they think we need. Does that kind of make sense to you guys? Cool. Thank you for that, Kyle.
No, no question. Yeah, yes.
Okay, so, and I wanted to quickly talk about something Kylie mentioned earlier, which was like dynamic versus static, right? Because you might think everything has to be moving around and like, let's do these squats, let's do these jump squats, let's do this. Can you guys think of things that are static in a bodyweight calisthenics program? And I'm also assuming we all know dynamic versus static, right? Dynamic, we're moving around, static, we're just kind of in position holding. That's the first thing that you know in mind, right? So he said L-sits or planks, right? So you could be doing, I don't know, just like head to toe, or head to toe, pull up bar for your core, right? Maybe you're supersetting that with a little L-sit hold. That would be kind of your static part of that movement, right? But I think you guys have a good understanding of that. Tips for beginners. What do you guys think someone who has done, like, it's not bad at fitness, like it's pretty good, but what do you guys think of just their first time getting into calisthenics or whatever? What would be some of those things that you guys think that they could use from you as a coach, as an understanding going forward? Like, what could be some tips for beginners?
Patience.
Patience? Why do you say that?
Well, because calisthenics is just a bodyweight movement, and like your ligaments and tendons have to get used to you holding yourself. So for a lot of beginners, it's going to take weeks before you start adjusting this movement. So it's a long journey. You're not going to see any big results in like the first 2 weeks.
Okay, what could that conversation look like? Like, let's say I'm your client and, you know I can do 10 push-ups, right? And I want to be able to do a one-arm, one-leg push-up. And I want to start doing a one-arm push-up right now here with you. What could that, I don't know if you're going to start with it, but I know you're business. So what could that conversation, I guess, look like?
We talk about the expectation of how long it's going to take us to get there. Start doing things supporting one arm. Start letting them know that, hey, it's going to be a journey, but if you want to do that, you're going to have to be doing push-ups on a regular basis. Or start training one arm specifically on a regular basis. So, do a lot of shots. Right? If you really commit to that journey, we can add some program. But it's going to take a while.
Right, thank you. And so what I hear from that, from Jate, is having a serious conversation about with your client about, hey, there might be days where we have to do things that you might not be looking forward to the most. But if they don't have that conversation, what could happen?
Expectation.
Right, like to me, if I don't have that conversation with a client, or you guys aren't having that long-term conversation with a client, they could leave, right? Because they're like, I gotta go do these dumb push-ups again, like whatever. But what if they have a mindset of this is building up to my one arm push-up, because Rico's already told me that. We've had that conversation in between sets. That's what we talk about. Shout out in between sets. That's what we talk about, right? So if you don't have that, they have no vision, right? As the coach, as the leader of that session, you have to set the vision. They have no idea. They're gonna do what you want them to do, well, hopefully, right? But if they don't see themselves doing it, if they can't visualize themselves doing it, and they're just doing it for the sake of, oh, I'm gonna keep coach happy, at some point that's gonna break, right? So have that conversation with them. Yo, I wanna get to your one-arm push-ups, but I see some difficulties here that we might run into. So just stick with me, and we're gonna keep working towards your goals. Someone else give me one more tip for a beginner.
I think you touched on it already, but like
Yes.
knowing, all right, getting back to your point, the one-arm push-up.
Yes.
Knowing where they are, and then what you already mentioned, like progressions from there, like realistic progressions.
Kyle, can I also ask you another question?
Yeah.
What would your conversation be like with someone that maybe wants to do a pistol squat, and they have the strength enough to do a 300-pound squat, and now they're like, well, I want to do a pistol squat, and they're like, well, I should be strong enough to do it. What problems could occur there?
Yeah. Well, I guess number one being pistol squat is a unilateral movement, so a lot of people are strong bilateral. So now you're gonna be on one leg. If their balance is not good,
Right.
it's gonna be tough. If they don't squat full range of motion, or I shouldn't even say full range of motion, I should say way beyond parallel.
There we go.
Then so even if you could squat to parallel,
That
with
counts.
300 pounds, that might not translate to
Correct.
squatting way below. You might not have the strength in the squat body weight way below. So
Yep.
I guess it just depends, right?
And you may have the strength, but what you might see is their ankle starts coming up, right? The ankle starts turning in. They have no idea how to really connect with the ground, right? When I do a pistol squat, if I'm getting ready to do a pistol squat with weight or without weight, the first thing I do is warm up my feet. I think you mentioned this earlier, to warm up your feet. That is really, really important, right? Even if that means walking around, you did mention that, I heard you. Walking around, just something about warming up your feet. Like doing stuff that like you guys might think is not that important, but to get your toes flexing at the bottom and all of that is super, super important to do unilateral movements, right? So, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think there's a big difference between how you mentioned like people squat a lot of weight versus doing body weight or calisthenic movement. I know a lot of people that can overhead press hundreds of pounds that can't do even like with their feet against the wall push up, right? Like our handstand push up.
And go ahead.
It's just the neuromuscular control that comes with calisthenic or body weight movements is largely different than doing a movement on a machine or a movement of like barbells or dumbbells.
Right.
It takes a lot more neuromuscular control. The way I explain it to clients, it's like learning how to drive a manual car. At first, it's really like clunky, your feet feel super awkward, it doesn't feel natural. But the more that you do it, the more smooth it gets, the more natural it gets. Same thing for calisthenics. You probably have the strength to do it, you just don't have the neuromuscular control to do it.
Yep.
So it's just the practice.
I love that.
A lot of calisthenics comes with just the practice. The strength might be there, might not be, but it might also be there already. Depending on where you're starting out at, or your baseline at. But it's just a lot of practice, learning how to develop that control, the stability for the joints, all that.
Yep, I totally agree. And it's like about getting feedback from your clients, right? So it's not always about, hey, do this drill and it's gonna help us get there. No, let's do this drill, let's set a baseline, right? So like a quick baseline could be, hey, just get your feet together and give me a squat, right? And then give you a squat as low as they can go. Cool. Now you drill, right? Something that you notice, maybe the ankles are coming up, or maybe something is not clicking. You give them some sort of a drill to work on that. Then you circle back around to the foundation, the thing that you set up, and hey, let's squat again. Can you get deeper? And you'll be surprised how many people will get deeper right then and there because of what you told them to do with their ankle, right? So those drill, and if they're not, then hey, that doesn't mean you're wrong. It's just, hey, let's try something else. Like let's come up with another drill or whatever that you have in your bag that you can give to them, and now let's work towards it. But I love the fact that you guys understand that it's not just brute strength, it's a different kind of modality of it. And you do have to work on other things than just strength in order to kind of like get it up and do it. Awesome. I wanted to save a little bit of time for questions and whatnot. But the main thing that I wanted you guys to take away from this, like I mentioned earlier, are the benefits of calisthenics. And I hope you guys got that, and how to program for our clients. And having a big part of programming, guys, I feel like, Jate was mentioning it, I think Austin was kind of mentioning at it, is like having that, obviously Kyle mentioned it, is having that conversation with them about it, right? If you don't have a program-based conversation with your clients about it, they're not gonna be excited in the long term to do what you're doing. You're gonna get them, and they're gonna leave. You're gonna get them, and they're gonna leave. So having that long-term kind of thing, hey, I'm gonna run this program for 4 to 5 weeks, and then we'll, go from there. And then you have that conversation with them. For me, I like having that conversation with them after every program. Like, hey, how did you like that? Not to like give them complete control of the program, but you do have to make it a collaborative effort to make sure that they're also getting what they want out of it. Okay, but I want all of you guys to share one thing that you took away from today. I don't want to put you guys on the spot. So I'm gonna totally let you guys do it, except I'm gonna throw this ball at you, Kyle, and I want you to go.
One thing I learned was definitely more different types of calisthenics, and how calisthenics isn't just like dynamic stuff, it also is static stuff.
Awesome.
Sorry.
This ball has absolutely no air. I'm tossing it morally.
The definition of body weight resistance, I was looking at that before.
How simple it is though, right?
Yeah.
And it reminded me of when Kyle mentions, and he would just say, what is strength? Right? And everybody's sitting there like, what is strength? What is it really? And Kyle, can you just mention, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but what you use as a definition of strength?
It's complicated. Let's see if I can.
The simplest one that I know you're trying to,
I guess it's just the ability that your musculoskeletal system can produce force.
to produce force, right? I think the other way I've heard you say it is like the ability to move weight.
Yeah, ability to move.
Right? Like that's sheer strength. Sometimes it's that simple, and it's easy to wrap our brains around this when you can break down a complicated concept in some 3 or 4 simple words, right? So thank you for that.
Hey, team question.
Yes. Well, you got to catch the ball first. There you go.
Do you have pinnacle movements for body weight for calisthenics?
Ooh, a pinnacle movement.
Or like, do you have a series? Like,
So-
if you're thinking like top movements, that
Okay.
they want, what are they?
So the workshop we did, there were 5 movements in that you had to basically do in order to kind of certify it. It was for guys, and I'll say for both. For guys, it was a 1-arm, 1-leg push-up. For girls, it was a 1-arm push-up. It was a handstand push-up.
You said 1 arm, 1 leg push up?
Yes.
So like 1 leg's off the ground, 1.
So you here,
Okay,
here,
here we go, T.
and then for girls it was, thank you for asking that now. For girls it was a 1-arm push-up, it was a pistol squat for girls, it was also a pistol squat for guys, and you didn't really have to use any sort of weight. Honestly, the weight actually, as you guys, some of you might know, actually kind of helps a little bit, because it's like counterbalance, it actually becomes a little bit harder without the weight. Handstand push-up, the other ones were really tough. It was a front lever. So that's just like, some of you guys don't know, it's just a pull-up bar, and you're trying to be completely parallel to the ground, right? And if you have a good core, like good core strength, a lot of lean muscle, and you don't weigh a lot, you'll surprise yourself, like, at how much you can do it. And going back to like the dynamic versus static, you can make that a dynamic or a static, right? Because you can try to hold yourself up there, that's kind of the simple part. The last one was push-up, pistol squat, handstand push-up, lever.
Is it like a muscle up or something?
No, it's not a muscle up, man. I'll get back to you guys on this. I think. Oh, it's a tactical pull-up. It's just a tactical pull-up. So kind of being stacked in this position, thumbs are around here, not around here. It's kind of going back to the functionality, right? If you're in the army or whatever, you can't really use that. Those, to me, I would say, would be maybe the pinnacle. I feel like everyone kind of has their own, but that's what the main ones were. And yeah, I mean, doing a 1-arm, 1-leg push-up, it definitely feels tough, but if you have the core strength and you understand the smaller muscles that are working with the bigger muscles, it becomes a lot easier. Like, you guys would surprise yourself with what you guys can do. Cool. You guys have any other questions regarding programming or benefits or anything like that? Go ahead. Thank you.
I think it's enough, but I'm just curious, like, if someone specifically wants hypertrophy,
Okay.
is body weight enough for that?
What do you guys think?
I say yes.
Why?
You can always find different ways of resistance, more challenging, like with the pull-ups. I mean, basic pull-up you can do, like pull, single arm pull-up. It's like sky's the limit.
I would just add this, right? And whoever had the end, please go. But tempo, right? So if you're doing a pull-up, right? You guys all understand what the tempo is. But if I'm giving you a 3-3-3 tempo, right? Where you gotta take time to get up there. You gotta hold it up there for 3 seconds. You gotta take time to come down. That's tension.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I tend to agree with you. I know you gotta get creative with it, but I tend to agree with you. And that's also where you can show off your one-on-one coaching, right? When you are a one-on-one coach, you wanna show them the value of that, right? You don't want them to be able to do that by themselves easily. So if I'm coaching you, I'm like, hey, hold, 3, 2, hold. All that's happening the entire time is what? They're building tension, right? They're building tension the entire time. But if you just say, hey, give me 10 pull-ups, you have no idea what they're using, right? But if, hey, hollow body hold, remember that, core tight. Let's go down in a tempo of 3 seconds. Let's hold at the bottom for 1. Let's explode up. Now they're learning every single thing they have to do in order to do the perfect pull-up. So now when you give them a 1-1-1 tempo, they're probably gonna do a lot better than what they used to do. So, go ahead.
One thing I always tell my clients is that your body doesn't know what weight you're using, it doesn't know what numbers on the side of the dumbbell or on the barbell, it just knows resistance.
Love it.
And our body is resistance.
I love
We can change the resistance depending on the tempo, the way you do the exercise. There's a lot of different ways to change the resistance of our own body in terms of that.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Thank you. Any other questions you guys have? I'll try to test that next time. I blame the ball. I blame the ball. Yes.
There are some muscles I feel like that might be harder to target, like for hypertrophy or calisthenics.
Okay.
Like maybe the morning curl maybe.
Oh.
Hamstring slides.
Or like the slide director, how do you really get the back extensions on waves?
I love that thing right there. The slider. Right? It's really, really hard to do hamstring curls on that thing. Right?
TRX, hamstring slides.
TRX.
Those are hard.
Yep.
Just have them right on that, and then pull it.
Same thing. Those sliders actually, the small black ones, they actually are decent on the black top too. Like I've had some people use them. Now you need someone who has, a certain ability to do them. So I wouldn't maybe go for it right away. Maybe test it out a little bit by yourself too. But yeah, like the slider is great for it. And again, if you find an exercise or two, now it's all working the tempo, right? So how can you mimic that machine, the hamstring curls machine, kind of with the slider or like what Morley's saying, right? Cool. If you guys don't have any other questions, I appreciate you guys so much for coming here.